Hello there, I'm Lucin, the fairy queen of spring that you can see having a bit of a crisis in the bottom right there. This is the sped up of the artwork that I did for the Demon Queen Fel. Now, before I get any further in, let me first apologise that while 8 minutes long, this piece was done over the course of about 36 hours, and in the end was missing a few hours of that content, mainly a chunk of the final shading and work done on the dress. I gave myself sleep deprivation troubles twice during this piece, so I wasn't necessarily thinking every time I worked on it. But it is what it is, and I wanted to do this one just a little bit differently for a change. So, with some serene music in the background, let me take you through what we've got here. Fel, character in question, is a demon queen. She's was from Wrath, so a warrior and a smith. Hence the, as you can already see, taking shape. Impressive musculature. She had troubles managing her anger. She would struggle to deal with conflict resolution, fly off the handle, without much provocation or effort. But there was trauma in her life. She had lost a child when she was quite young. She had been forced to live under the rule of an oppressive tyrant king, at the time the king of all demons. And one day when she was sent away to retrieve a escaped slave, she would find herself in opposition to a doctor and would refuse orders, as it was against her hard-to-break personal code to do such a thing. The choice to do so, the choice to break from this instruction, led to a time spent away from her throne, away from her lord, away from her work, and to meet and learn. She would ultimately return to that place sometime later with the new aim of usurping the previous tyrant, making a new life for herself, a better place for her people. For demons, where she was from, were intended to be punishers of the wicked, but had been twisted into similarly wicked things herself. There would be several months of rebellion before she was eventually crowned queen, usurping the previous king and taking the throne by force. An act which, of course, was the cause of some conflict, more than there had been, and ultimately a war with the heavens, in which the nature of the god who ruled over all such things would be found to be a lie, a parasite, devouring the god in question and manipulating or tricking the angels. With help, that god too would be set free and the parasite would be put down, leading to a period of relative peace. Now, regarding her design, you can see a few things taking place. A set of 4 wings and extra arms. She has her usual 2, the one on her thigh and the one on her axe, and an extra 4 ethereal ones, which she can manifest at will and act as if they were attached to her shoulders. Now, that and some of her dimensions were thanks to me, thanks to the existence of a place called the Grove of a Mother, for Fel was a mother once and would be so again to an adopted child. And she would take a visit there, receiving boons of magic and of form to increase her capacity as a mother, her fertility, her strength, her ability to defend that which she held close. This outfit that she's now being fitted to was one of my design, actually made up during this piece, but decided in a roleplay space. And frankly, it was brilliant to realize in the end, which you'll see a little while later. But I made a big mistake with this piece. The outfit alone took me 10 hours. Not my finest ideas. And there you saw it, for just a moment. Ankle length, split side skirt, and the very showy top, along with all the jewellery and the choice of braids to give her that authoritative look and a certain charm to it. It was a bit of a mistake. I spent far too long copying bits and pieces of the flowers and colouring them in when I really should have just used a stamp. Good news, I've now learned how to use stamps. And the glow tool, which will appear later after some work was done on her wings. And while I'm aware that she is a very voluptuous figure, one of my favourite body types, as you can well see, it's actually not my favourite part about this piece. I very much like it. I think it came out very good looking. But there are several other parts that I favour more. The final look of the dress, which, while difficult to fully complete, did come out really well. These markings that I put onto her shoulders based on some at least alchemical or theoretically occult designs. And the muscles, not as you see them just at this point with all the line art, but after, when there was shade and some of that line art was removed. It was all thanks to looking at just physically muscular people in various poses, and some helpful muscle studies done where people would remove the skin and show how everything formed and fit together. It is an important and massively important part of shading people, of understanding how they pose to make that work. And I can only say, take a look for yourself if you are an aspiring artist there. You'll see a little bit of the shading going at least. Yeah, this is all I have to say. Just a few commentaries, some lore, and some of the failings of this piece. And I hope you enjoyed watching. Here's the final thing for you. Doesn't she look wonderful? Thank you, and good night from this spring queen.